So, you need to write a book report, but how do you go about doing that? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a really interesting way to do that so that other people find it interesting as well, okay? But guess what? Here's a spoiler alert. You have to do the report on a book that you've actually read. Don't go cheating now and look up reviews on Amazon and Goodreads, okay? So what do you need in a good book review? Well, you're going to start with a hook. You're then going to give all the essential book information, provide a basic plot summary. You're going to give your praise and critique, then supply your readers with your recommendations, and finally you're going to end with your rating of that particular book. Let me explain each one of these. So we start with a hook, and this is where you get to be super creative. A hook is like, it's a line that catches your reader's attention and makes them interested so that they don't just move past it onto something else. It's a statement that you are making about that book, or even a question that you might be asking. So for example, you could say, this literary masterpiece is not just a tale of what might have been, it is a warning about what could be. This might be an opening line if you're reviewing George Orwell's 1984. Or you could ask a question such as, I've heard it said that we are but one meal and 24 hours away from barbarism. Have you ever wondered what you would do if you suddenly found yourself cut off from civilization with nothing but your wits and a sharp stick? That would be a possible opening line in a review on William Golding's Lord of the Flies. So ask something or state something that is provocative, that stirs the emotions. Don't just say, this is a book about the time Harry met Sally, it is really cool. Please don't do that. Try and express something about it in a way that is going to make another person really interested. Secondly, give us the essential book information. Share something you would want people to know. The author and the title are obvious ones, of course, and include the year of publication if the book is more than 10 years old. Be sure to mention whether the book is part of a series and mention whether it's necessary or not to read the other books in the series to understand this one. Here's an example. First published in 1954, William Golding's Lord of the Flies has sold more than 10 million copies. In 2005, Time magazine named it one of the 100 best English language novels from 1923 to 2005. Time also included the book in its list of 100 best young adult books of all time. Thirdly, provide us with a basic plot summary. Share a synopsis, a summary of the book so that your readers get a gist of what it is about. Leave out any climaxes and especially the ending of the book and avoid giving away any spoilers. It's better to say, for example, that the book has an unexpected twist rather than saying the villain turned out to be the main character's father. You can see why that would be a bad idea, right? What you need is enough information to get someone interested, but not so much that you give away anything important. This is tricky. It's often what we call a blurb. Now, a blurb is what you would see on the back of a book, for example, or the description on a web page if you're buying it from someone like Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Now, instead of my just reading out an example of a plot summary, I'm going to rather give you some research and refer you to a review that was done by The Guardian in 2012, one that I think is pretty good. It's a good summary, and I've included it below in the description. Read it, have a look at it, see how they have written this plot in a way that gives nothing away. Fourthly, give us your praise and critique. What did you think about the book? What is your unique take? Simply saying it was good or bad isn't going to cut it. No, not at all. So why did you think it was a good book? Or why did you find it disappointing? Sharing these details will help your readers to form their own opinions on whether they would enjoy reading it or not. For example, you could say, the writing was excellent and it really transported me into that strange world, but there were several plot holes that didn't make sense. Or perhaps, I personally didn't care much for the main character. I found his continued arrogance annoying and off-putting. Or maybe, the writing was rough difficult to get into at first with too much description, but the story itself was brilliant. Fifthly, give us your recommendations. Who do you think would enjoy this book? Did you personally dislike it because of the unrealistic high tech, but you feel that serious space opera fans would love it? Then say so. Do you feel the book is better suited to someone younger than you or older than you? What age group would be ideal? Is it the 16th book in a series and you think it might be getting a bit stale? Or has the introduction of new characters actually revived that series? Say so. Finally, the sixth element of a book review is your rating. And this is another area that you can get just creative on, okay? So many review sites provide a rating system like 1 star, 3 stars, 5 stars. So pick something for yourself or make up your own rating system. Let your readers know why you have chosen a particular rating for the book you are reviewing. And also, if you've made up your own rating system and it's a little bit odd, just explain what that system is all about. Okay, so those are the 6 areas that you want to cover. Start with a hook, give the essential book information, provide a basic plot summary, give your praise and critique, supply your readers with your recommendations, and finally end with your rating. Okay, so some general tips. Keep it streamlined. Pay attention to your word count. Don't make it too long. Don't ramble on. Those reviews can be confusing and time consuming to read. So keep your readers with you by getting to the point. Also remember to proofread. A review that's riddled with errors is doing you no favors at all, and it won't be taken seriously. And lastly, don't be mean. You're reviewing a book that another person has poured their heart and soul into, okay? So express your opinion honestly, but don't be nasty. Imagine if it was your book being reviewed. How would you want a reader to express their critique of your work? Now, this lesson and all my lessons I include in an ebook which I send out every week, complete with exercises to get you going. So to get the ebook, simply subscribe to my newsletter. The link is below in the description. As usual, like this video if you found it useful. Drop me a comment if it's something you want to know on this subject or any subject that you want something further on. And if you haven't yet done so, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon so you stay up to date with all my tips, tricks, news, views, information, tutorials, and as usual, until next time, cheers.